Now, back to Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
Edwards lost it. Doncic the other way. Hold on, here it comes! And through he goes! Jones! We just saw a man fly!
Derek Jones Jr. Very quick stay here in Vegas. Pennsylvania guy, but NCAA kind of got him. But played for UNLV, and now he's turned into a really good role player. And on this Mavs team, he's an important guy, and he can certainly finish on the break. And you hear Harlan, I think for the second time on a broadcast in his history, saying you just saw a man fly. And that was always Derek Jones' calling card, is the vertical leap. He's insane, great dunker. But the Mavs lose. That series is back tomorrow. We'll have it right here, Mavs and Wolves, on ESPN Las Vegas at 6 o'clock. So Nye is in. It's Cofield. We got Caleb Herring coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. So we'll get into some NFL angles, a little college football, and a lot of NBA then. We were just talking about MD, Raiders owner Mark Davis, who's kind of embroiled in something I'm sure he doesn't want to be part of this. He's a low-profile guy, and now, a social media content creator who might have sold, this might have been his last hurrah, might have sold his Twitter handle, which I don't even know how that's going to work, but I think he's ducking out, according to some sources. But he threw it out over the weekend. A lot of people ran with it, including Pat McAfee, who went on WWE, was like screaming about Mark Davis having a kid at 70. So this is not something, it's not Mark Davis, not that he wouldn't have a kid at 69, but just the attention he's getting and this nonsense. Let's turn our attention to Raiders coming up this year, because we haven't really had a lot of continuity the last couple of weeks because we've all been in and out. I want to get to the schedule in less than 3 here and what we're fired up for. But we've asked everyone who's on the show, Nye, what your expectations are for the Raiders. This is a very, very cynical, I said that to open the show. We try to be realistic, maybe a little too hard on the Raiders sometimes. They're over-under 6.5 wins in a 17-game schedule, and the over is actually favored. Over minus 130, under plus 110. So anything 7 and up, you're going to win. You got to lay 13 to win 10 at minus 130. You get a little bonus price back. If they're terrible, 6.5 seems really low, especially with the enthusiasm around the program.
Yeah. 6.5 is ridiculous. When I seen that take, I baffled, because you have to see the progression that this team has made from last year to this year. Now, a game has not been played. We understand that, we see that, but it's the extra additions that they've added on both sides of the ball. The addition of Antonio Pierce, Tom Telesco, the culture and the leadership that they're building, and that they're building in the organization as a whole. 6.5 just seems like a spite. And a lot of people like to spite the Raiders and believe that they can perform at less than what they did last year. But I really think they're going to perform so much more better than they did. For sure, 100%.
On the spite thing, the books are trying to balance their money.
Yeah.
So they want to make sure they get two-way action.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like, well, I've seen some 7s out there. People are kind of in agreement, because there's no big spread on either side, that they're probably a 6 or 7 win team. Now, the upside or the downside, I think, revolves all around the quarterback situation.
Mm-hmm. And
either AOC, Akon, whatever you want to call it, Aiden O'Connell, either he exceeds expectations or Minshew is better than we've ever seen. I don't know. So much of the NFL comes down to the quarterback. If they have lackluster quarterback play, then they're about what they were last year.
Yeah, I do agree with that. That'll be the make it or break it this year, is the quarterback position, which we've all are expecting, right? The big thing about this team is that it's, for me, more than just a quarterback. Now, Raider Nation is going to say if the Raiders end up having a bad season, they'll go to that position and blame it. But for me, the Raiders have added pieces on defense. They've added pieces on offense. They had 8 games. They won 8 games last year. So with all the extra additions, how would they win less this year? Now, you can complain about the strength of the schedule. Is the strength of a schedule even in the question anymore? We've seen teams like the Houston Texans come out, who you thought were going to be an absolute crappy team, and perform and make it to the playoffs. So really, I feel like the league is just, you have to expect the unexpected. As far as the quarterback position, that is all in the air. But the good thing about Gardner Minshew, I think he is a good piece to have right now. I don't think he is a long-term answer, but he did take the Colts to the playoffs. So it's still a good look no matter what. Aiden O'Connell is working hard in the offseason, as I hear. He's getting those reps at OTAs. So we'll see how he will perform this upcoming year. But I think he has a different type of hunger. I think there are things that he needs to work on. But coming into this upcoming season, it'll be a good matchup. I believe that Gardner Minshew will take that role, and hopefully it lasts. But that position, all in all, still needs a definite answer.
Nyshon Zaragoza in with Cofield and Company. All right, you mentioned the schedule briefly. When it came out, were there certain games you looked at and you're like, all right, let's do this. I want to be at that game. I want to be at that game as media. I want to be at that game as a fan. It could be a road game. I want to watch. I want to be there. I want to watch on TV. Matchups are important. So what's you have like 3? Because I have 3 that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, for sure. I have 3. First one obviously would be the Chargers. That's the first game. For me, a division rival is always the most exciting one. And that team, I would say, is in the same position as the Raiders as far as head coaching, right? Because they have a new head coach in Jim Harbaugh. Justin Herbert's coming back completely healthy. The additions that they've added in this draft to tack on the additions that they already have, I think it's going to be a really good game with the Raiders. And that is the Raiders competition. The Raiders do not like the Chargers. The Chargers do not like the Raiders. So that's going to be an exciting one.
So real quick, Chargers downside is they are going to try young receivers, mid-level receivers.
Yep.
A little bit risky. I think they're going to change their offense too to more of a run power-based offense. Eckler's gone. Actually just got married in town the other day. He wasn't a power guy, so they've loaded up with a bunch of former Ravens. Who's a better head coach? Harbaugh?
For sure.
Or AP?
For sure. AP doesn't have the resume.
Okay,
he doesn't have the resume.
Just wanted to see what you thought.
Come on now. He doesn't have the resume that Jim Harbaugh has. Harbaugh has not only that leadership mentality, but he's been leading men for how many years? This is AP's first year. Like, you really have to, again, expect the unexpected. Although we hear the giddy, goo goo, gaga, culture, leadership, etc., we really have to see what AP can do. We haven't seen.
Who's got the giddy gaga? What was it again?
The giddy goo goo gaga.
Who's got that?
I feel like everybody has that in regards to AP. Right?
Oh, with AP.
Like,
I thought you were making a reference to. See, Harbaugh's interesting to me because one, he's got this awesome quarterback who probably should be trying to throw 35 touchdowns a year. I don't think he has a real established running back. I like the Gus Bus.
Mm-hmm.
He's also been coaching college. Was it Denzel Perriman who said last week that he likens Harbaugh's delivery to Will Ferrell? Mm-hmm. So there also is I think Harbaugh is a better head coach than AP, but I think there are some uncertainties about him in terms of the time he's been away. He's been coaching college kids.
Mm-hmm.
And some of that rah-rah stuff, well, I'll say this. I think it works early.
Yeah.
Let's see if it works 4 years in. But when you have a player, and Perriman's very honest, when he's like, hey, I compare him to Will Ferrell, I mean, I think he's kind of calling him a clown.
Yeah.
And that's not the whole team.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that was one of the impressions.
That's definitely a low blow.
So that was not a loaded question when I said, who's the better coach? I want to see more from AP because they were successful.
Mm-hmm.
There's some in-game weaknesses with AP. We can talk about it another time. All right, next matchup that you're excited about.
The Chiefs, of course.
Which one? Here or there?
Oh, here for sure. I know that a lot of people.
I'm more excited about the game there because it's on Black Friday.
Yeah.
And I love Black Friday, but
okay,
I'm starting to hate on retail now.
We're going to say
I'm not going out waiting in lines anymore. They ruined Black Friday. They started too early. It ruins my Thanksgiving. I'm not going out at 8 o'clock on. This was a tradition for me, and on the show I talk about it. I'm watching football now.
Yeah, for sure.
And the Chiefs are expected to blow away the Raiders.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to take it back. I'm going to go with that game.
And I wasn't trying to change your mind.
But you did, though. Okay. And the reason why I'm going with that game is that there is so much talk in regard to that game. And I know a lot of people are mad because it's not here. And, Raider Nation has the all-black stadium, the all-black uniforms.
I hadn't even thought of that. Black Friday, Black Allegiant.
It's been a big thing in the Raider Nation talk of town. But I will say that's just an exciting game because of what those two teams have built against each other. Right. You have Patrick Mahomes, you have Travis Kelce, who hopefully, I won't even say hopefully, but he should come back performing a lot better this year. And then for me, it's Xavier Worthy, the fastest player in the NFL Combine, coming out and being an addition to the wide receiver room, which we know in the wide receiver room, that was some of their weaknesses, I would say, last year.
A lot of drops. On the way back, we're going to name our top game we're looking forward to on the Raiders schedule. We haven't really broken down the schedule. Naya's in studio with us here on Cofield and Company. Early start today. If you're like, why are they on at 2 o'clock? We're going 2 to 4:30. We're going to lead into a 5 o'clock tip with the Aces in Minneapolis.